This is the Vento 80, Owlab's second TKL after the legendary Mr. Suit. But this time around, we have a springy typing feel, unique aesthetics, and these things. Yeah, hit the B-roll. The sale for the Vento 80 will be a raffle sale, similar to the Jelly Evolv, which should take place towards the end of March. So unfortunately, you won't be able to just order one in a group buy. I highly recommend joining Owlab's Discord to stay on top of the sales date and any sales information, and I'll link their Discord in the description below. So you'll have two layout options to choose from, a Windows key and a Windows keyless, and they'll be available in multiple colors and two different finishes. You have anodized light wisteria, anodized lime, anodized glacier blue, anodized silver, and anodized black. One thing to note is the anodized colors come with a glossy chamfer, so if that's something you're looking for, go with the anodized versions. They also offer spray coated finishes in white, retro white, bubblegum, and red, and the color that I have is the spray coated retro white, which starts at a hefty $510. So start saving that milk money now if you plan to pick one of these up. I gotta say, the spray coating is one of the best that I've seen on a keyboard and has a really nice texture to it. I found zero issues with my unit. So including the kit, you'll get this nice carrying case, a PCB of your choice. The one that I have is a 1.6mm thickness without any flex cuts, but they do offer it in a 1.2mm with flex cuts if that's your preference. The PCBs come in an ANSI 6.25U spacebar or an ANSI 7U spacebar, which is the one you will need if you go with the WKL. The layout is pretty fixed, with the only option being step caps lock. So if you're looking for a whole lot more configurability, especially ISO, go with the solder PCB. You also will get a plate of your choice. I have palm and carbon fiber on hand, and they also offer polycarbonate, FR4, and aluminum. And this is an Owlab's board, so you know you're gonna get the foams. You get the plate foam, PE sheet, and case foams. Inside the case, you'll have the accessory box, which has a few different things. You get these gaskets that come in two different hardnesses, a 30 duro in white and a 10 duro in a pale blue, which look really similar to tell apart. So I'd like to see them change the colors so you can actually tell which one is which. Also, you'll get some gray feet and white ones pre-installed on the board, and this gorgeous magnetic badge that goes on the bottom of the keyboard. You also get this small connector for the LED badge on the top case and small ribbon cables for it. More on this in just a bit. Now, the daughter board will come pre-installed, and they also include some owl stabs for you. So the Vento design brings some elements from the recently released Jelly Evolv and adds more to the mix. We have this side badge with the RGB and a decorative button next to it that switches the RGB modes, this magnetic badge on the bottom of the case with a polished and bead blasted finish, and a super easy mechanism they call Effortless Disassembly Structure 3.0 to get in and out of the Vento with ease, which I'll discuss in a bit. The badges and accents all look fantastic, and take a look at this side profile. Yeah, it's a looker for sure and looks very similar to the Jelly Evolv, but it's more, well, evolved. You still have that floating back design, and there's still that small space to look straight through. But this time we have an additional internal copper weight, which adds some serious heft to the board. And at the bottom, you have a dual finish stainless steel weight, which has two colors on the same material. For my retro white unit, it's brown and rose gold, and it looks pretty dope. Now back to this badge with the RGBs in it. This is operated by this accent button. A long press will turn off the lighting or turn it back on. A short press will cycle through all of the lighting effects. It's much easier to do this than going to software like VIA or Vile to adjust it. So that's a thoughtful feature for sure. Now turning it to its bottom, you also see that it exposes the internal mechanism that's used to open the case, which is quite polarizing. For me, it gives this board some character and I like it. The mechanism uses these buttons on the side, which are anodized, and they stick out beyond the case, making it easy to locate, and I like the way it looks from a top-down angle. This works much better than the Jelly Evolv implementation, so kudos to Owlab for continuing to refine their innovation. It makes getting in and out of the board easy as yeah, that's it. No screws needed at all for the build except for the stabilizers. Now Owlab's made the build process so easy that I can comfortably recommend this board to a newcomer to the hobby. It's ridiculous actually. Just prep your stabs, install it to the PCB, pick your plate and foam configuration, install your switches, install the small ribbon cable to the supply connector, and connect the other side of the ribbon cable to the LED module to the top case, slip on your gaskets, and place the assembly on the leaf springs and close the top case. To close the top case, just start with the front and lay it down and press. It all works very seamlessly. Oh, and you may be wondering, what about plugging in the daughter board to the PCB? Well, Owlab's used the magnetic daughter board tech that they used in the QWERTY Keys QK75N, which eliminated the need for messing around with cables altogether. Ah, creature comforts. So overall, I think the design is fantastic with a lot of ingenuity. But how does the board perform? So the Vento utilizes a leaf spring structure similar to the Owlab spring and the Jelly Evolv. This time around, they position the leaf springs outside of the inner case to help remove any unwanted hollowness. We'll get to the sound performance in just a bit, but the typing feel is very soft, which is to be expected. I would, however, love to see Owlabs include a stiffer leaf spring for those that like a firmer typing feel, and it would be really interesting to see if that would affect the overall sound. The front height of the Vento 80 is 18.6 millimeters with a typing angle of 7 degrees. Overall, really comfortable to type on without a wrist rest. Fully built, this beast comes in at 6.66 pounds. So how does it sound? Well, with the 1.6 millimeter PCB and no foam, the board sounds surprisingly good. I'm using a carbon fiber plate with some HMX Hyacinth V2Us. These are full travel switches that sound and feel really dope right out the box. You can pick these up using the link in the description. Overall, the alphas are pretty full and the mods sound pretty good. And I gotta say, I do like my Owlab's boards to have that signature foamy sound. So we'll take a look at that after we listen to this without the foam. So with foam, the board is where I want it to be, punchy and marbly. I love that you can go with no foam or dial in the sound profile you're looking for with the included foams. It's a cleaner sound with a bit more character than the Mr. Suit has with full foams, and y'all know I adore the Mr. Suit. This is a pretty versatile sounding board in my opinion, and I think Owlab's nailed the design, ease of build, typing feel, and the sound. This is definitely a banger. Best of luck to all of you entering the raffle. Like the video if you got something out of it, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Now enjoy this foamy sound test. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.